Don't judge me. I just wish you knew. That's just like you. I miss you as I need you.
Well, 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 well. Doom, boom, doom, 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 doom. Boom. Cause I'm a voodoo child, voodoo child.
Y'all thought it was something else, y'all.
Lord said I'm a voodoo child. What's going on, people? What's going on, people, man? You know, it's Thursday afternoon. We got a good one coming up for you this evening. Welcome to the Six Man Combo live stream, where I'm your host, 6MK, aka K Styles, aka Pie May in the building. And joining me in today's festivities, you already know him as the Senator. You already know him as the Mad One, Mad Mike Sports.
Yeah.
And we coming at you radio style. And shout out to the OG for being the newest member of the Six Man Convo Live Experience, which we already know. That's one of the brothers in arms. Um, hey man, it's been one hell of a day. It's been one hell of a day. Um, I don't want to get into that, but let's go ahead and get right into giving the shout out to the people. Oh yeah, because Sam is the member, you know we got to do it right, Mike. Pick up the pieces.
Mm-mm-mm.
Better, 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 better. Pick up the pieces.
Pick up the pieces.
As you already know, man, as a member of the show, you know that that is the member show sound clip that you get from this from us over here. We pick up the pieces. So definitely shout out to the OG for being the newest member of the show. Hey, appreciate you. So let's go ahead and give the shout outs. As you already know, D Coleman and Mr. White Network get the first shout outs of the day. Give a shout out to the members. Members get the first shouts out of the shows. And definitely give to the rest of the people. We got Dex Diggs, we got Deshaun Caswell, we got Keyshawn Black, got one of my favorite ladies in the whole wide world, Sonya in the building. Got Dre Murphy,
Yeah.
John
Absolutely.
John St. Clair, Ghost Peppers. Hey man, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to live. So my advice to everybody, man, like I said, I know we all going through some rough times right now, but think about it like this. Somebody in your life cares about you and your well being, so you gotta live for that. Am I right, Mike?
Yes, sir.
All
Absolutely.
right. So let's go ahead and kick this damn show off, right? We got well pretty much it's all tied into one conversation this afternoon. The topic for today's evening is Falcons head coach Raheem Morris the new Mike Vick? And we're also going to be talking about the conflict of interest within not only the fan base but the Falcon media and the content space of uh, Raheem Morris versus Jimmy Lake battle royale that's been going on. Shout out to one of our favorite peoples here. Shout out to my brother here, D Sloan.
Yes,
And
sir.
Said people's schedule was great. If we can compete like we should, this should be an interesting season. Yeah. All right, Mike. Let's go ahead and get right into it, man. This is actually going to be a extended version of the live that you had cut earlier today. For those that may not have caught that, I want you to go ahead to explain to the people your thoughts to the idea of what's going on with the Raheem Morris conversation.
Well, you got two perspectives from me earlier today. You had my biased opinion and had the honest opinion. Everybody has two sides to a story when it comes down to it. A lot of us just don't like to admit it. We want to pretend like we perfect. We want to pretend like we always have pure thoughts. But all y'all can fuck off if you believe that way. But this is about the conversation at hand, and the conversation at hand is Raheem Morris. He deserves the benefit of the doubt because one, he's one of the quote unquote few black coaches that actually got a real shot, an opportunity. Which at this point in time, when you still talking about this in 2025, I think you're a fucking moron. But one
Hold on,
guy,
Mike. Hold on, Mike. Can I put the disclaimer out right quick?
yes sir.
Okay, the disclaimer of the 6 man convo is if you feel offended by what we say, fuck you. All right, go ahead, Mike.
That's all. That's exactly right. You're exactly right. Fuck you. Okay, so when it all comes down to it, I think this is very funny because of the guy that's right behind him and this particular picture. K Style, can you tell me who that guy is behind Raheem?
That's not Ricochet, is it?
I don't think so. I mean, he looked like Ricochet, the bald head, the
Uh,
beard.
uh,
It does
um,
look like him.
that doesn't look like who's that bald headed dude? He used to get on my damn nerves all the time. That ain't Derek White. Derek White, is it?
No, talking about the bald
Um,
dude play with ball.
the ball dude, yeah, Derek
Yeah,
White,
he does look
the
like him.
Celtics player.
Yeah, he
Um,
does look like him.
um, oh, that's Jimmy Lake, isn't it?
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, Jimmy freaking late. Does he look kind of black to you?
Yeah, lightly toasted, black man.
Mm-hmm. Lightly toasted one. But for the
Yeah.
most part, I think he's a black man. And how many opportunities did he get? Did he get a real shot?
I think this was his first That was his first opportunity as a defensive coordinator
Hmm.
in the NFL.
So I got another question. So how many opportunities, being that this guy only had one opportunity to be a defensive coordinator, how many people are lining up to say, all right, Jimmy Lake needs an opportunity to be the Falcons defensive coordinator or just defensive coordinator again, or even the
Ooh, ooh,
possibility
ooh,
at some point in
ooh, ooh,
time to
ooh,
be.
ooh, ooh, ooh,
That's
ooh. Can
all.
I guess? Um,
Mm,
is it 3 times?
hmm.
Um, no, that's not 3 times.
Mm,
Uh,
mm,
um, 4 times.
mm. I don't.
Is
I
below
don't.
that? It was below that.
Yeah, it was actually
Oh,
below that. I
two
don't.
times. Love me 2 times, baby.
I'm,
It's not
I,
two.
I,
It's
I
not
don't
two.
worry about doing that. That's hurt.
Love me 2 times. Y'all, that my shit. Love me 2 times. I'm blown away. Nah. So you
I
say
don't. I don't.
so basically this is an Eminem situation where you're like, You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow it because opportunity comes
Mm-hmm.
once in a life. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
nobody saying ain't no Falcons fans saying Jimmy Lake he only had one opportunity to be a defensive coordinator. Give him another opportunity to prove to himself to see at least give him another chance to say all right say to try to at least get a real good read on who he is. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying giving Jimmy Lake another chance. You
Mm.
know who else they not saying give him another chance?
Who?
Desmond Ritter. They told that nigga that as soon as he had one bad game, he need to go.
What? Not Beaker. Not Beaker.
Yeah, Beaker.
Beaker got one chance.
Beaker got one opportunity to try to do something. And guess what happened? Nothing. They wanted to run his ass off. Look, they wanted to run him out of town so quick, even though he had one full year as a quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons.
Mm.
They shipped
Mm.
that nigga off so quick. Ain't y'all ain't bad, but the Raheem, he gets a chance after chance after chance after chance of
Ooh.
average
Yes.
at best games. Average at best game.
Sam said if Raheem Morris Homer Simpsonized this season again, y'all could perfectly wear a lifetime W.
Look, I'll give you some customized thongs, okay? That got dummy on it. I will buy my damn self and give it to you.
Look, I ain't even gonna lie. This picture looks like it. It looked like Casey and Nojo.
You know what it look like? It's like this nigga
What's
set
up?
me up. That's what Jimmy Lake look like. This nigga set me up.
This nigga done set me up.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
And
but
Raheem looking in the picture, he like, yeah, I think this nigga know I set him up.
oh my god, no, no. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, so basically, what you saying that this picture look like this here?
Yep.
Okay, so kind of going off of what we talking about earlier, as far as that live where um is it pretty much been a bunch of conversations going on here recently as far as the defensive inefficiencies
Yes.
in which Jimmy Lake has become the what you would say the quote unquote fall guy
Yes.
and the lack of defensive lack of production for an entire season.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. No, no.
Auntie Pam, what's
Question
going
about it.
on? What's going on?
Hey, Auntie, how you doing? Pamela? I like saying Pamela. But like
Auntie Pam
nobody's
treats
saying why.
Auntie Pam treats us so good. And
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
definitely shout like I said, and if y'all don't know Auntie Pam, that is one of the Lady Birds of AFN. So y'all make sure y'all tune in every Tuesday for the Lady Birds, so you can get the perspectives from the female Falcon fan perspective, which is crazy, which is nice because they actually sound more logical and reasonable to a lot of these motherfuckers out here. But I digress from my point. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm just got a comment from somebody that's real funny. Um,
Oh Lord.
I just want to share it real quick because I thought this was fucking hilarious. Because I said something about the early game that we got to wake up at damn 9 o'clock um, to watch. And it says, Mike, you offended me from your live by saying you got to wake up, you got to get up early for the Germany game. I'm a Falcon fan in Cali, so I always got to get up early because 1 o'clock p.m. Atlanta time is 10 a.m. here. You know what? I don't give a
Yeah.
damn. This our goddamn thing. You shouldn't be a Cali fan. You should be a damn Raiders fan. You should be a damn Chargers fan. Don't
So, I
punish
mean,
our ass because your ass want to be a Falcon team
so
in Cali.
so 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So that means he's gonna be up at 6 in the morning watching that Falcon
6 in the
game.
morning. Hey man, we appreciate you though. This bullshit, man. But I thought that was funny. I thought that was funny. 10 a.m. on West
But
Coast. Yeah.
so so the question that comes into with this is, and we're going to talk about the 2025 schedule at later on. So y'all see the schedule on the screen. We're definitely going to talk about that as well. So, but we want to get
Hmm.
this out the way. Um, so do you think? So, Mike, this is my question to you.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, do you feel like Jimmy Lake is getting too much of the blame for everything that went wrong defensively for the Falcons, or do you think that it's justified?
I think anybody that's pointing a finger at Jimmy Lake is a fucking coward. That's just
Mm,
my opinion. I think you're a fucking
oh,
coward. I really do. I think you ain't got no nuts. I don't think you got any balls. And some of you sisters got more nuts than some of these dudes that's out here. Anybody that's pointing the finger at Jimmy Lake need to be examined. Heads need to be examined. That's
mm,
how I.
okay. Sonya here said she got into it with a Marta mobility driver over Jimmy Lake calling defense at our DC, and I told him it was Raheem's defense.
That's the whole point. So, you know what? I'm glad Sonya did that because you just gave me an idea. Thank you, sister. I really appreciate that. I love me some Sonya. But she gave me an idea just on that. So let me read something, K Styles, if I may.
Oh, go ahead, do you think?
Okay. So we're gonna go to Wikipedia and pull up the name Raheem Morris. And we're gonna look at his titles, okay, as a coach. Okay, so we're gonna start from the very beginning. 1998, he was a Hofstra graduate assistant. Okay, that's basically you get an opportunity to kind of fulfill your dream to be a coach. That's what a graduate assistant is, to help the team out. Anyway, all right. So he was a graduate assistant. Went to Cornell and he became a defensive back coach. Again, he got defensive back coach and went to Tampa Bay. Um, to become a defensive quality coach. Tampa Bay again, a defensive assistant, and then he get an assistant defensive back coach. Went to Kansas State, became a defensive coordinator. Tampa Bay again, defensive back coach, and then Tampa Bay he became a head coach. He went to Washington and became a defensive back coach. He went to the Atlanta Falcons and became assistant head coach, defensive back coach, defensive pass game coordinator, assistant head coach, wide receivers coach, offensive pass game coordinator, and then assistant head coach, D back coach, defensive coordinator, interim head coach, defensive coordinator with the Rams, and then he was a head coach with the Atlanta Falcons. Why did I read all of that? If out of all everything that I just read, what is the common denominator in all of that?
That shit just sounds like it's all over the damn place. To be honest with
It really isn't. It really is. It sounds that way, but it really isn't.
so pretty much, so
I
so if
mean,
I make a so if I make a guess on what you're saying is it's pretty much is specialized on the defensive side of the ball.
ding, 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 ding. So who was the defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons last year?
Defensive coordinator was Jimmy Lake.
Jimmy Lake. So the head coach that we hired him for, did we hire him to be our offensive guru?
It was for defensive prowess.
Okay. All right. So we hired Raheem Morris to be the defensive guy, the defensive mastermind, right?
Hmm. Mm,
So in
yeah.
all of this, we got one, two positions offensively in his entire resume that goes all the way back to 1998, all the way now to 2025. Only two titles on his resume as a coach. He's been on the offensive side of the ball two times
Hmm.
in over 20 plus years. He's only had two positions on the offensive side of the ball. And we are saying that Jimmy Lake ought to take all the heat for the defensive side of the ball. That is problematic if you really. That's kind of sick in the head if you really think about it.
Mm. And Jay here said, I just want to know who was responsible for that last game against Carolina.
Jay, look, I love you. You know who. This a stupid ass question because you already damn know the fucking answer. Yeah, why you gonna have that dumb ass shit? You know goddamn well it was Raheem. You gonna have this dumb ass damn question. You know damn well you know the fucking answer to this. Who's sitting up here and say, I don't know if it was Jimmy Lake or not? Who's sitting up here saying that to themselves? That's why his ass up here laughing. He know that was a dumb ass damn question. You know damn well.
but
I love you, man.
but 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 the question comes down to is rather if it was Rod P. Morris or Jimmy Lake. The problem is that the defense was too damn inconsistent. Now,
Yes.
now for my question to you, Mike, is why, like I said, with Raheem Morris being a defensive, well, supposed to be defensive guru, and being brought here as far as the guy to help, the defense alongside. Why why do you? And this is how I'm thinking. Why do you think a lot of people is giving Raheem Morris a little bit of flack, not flack, but a little bit wiggle room as far as saying, it's his first year as a head coach. Why do you think that is?
We some hurt niggers. Okay.
This motherfucker just used
I'm very clear about what the fuck I just said. I'm very
this
clear. And I
yeah,
on purpose. Oh, I did that absolutely on purpose. We some
this
hurt niggers. Okay, so I'll take a while guess why I would say hurt niggers.
I don't even want to know why you said that, but I'm gonna just say it like it sounds like what you sound like. You sound like you're using the PG version would be symbolism.
Symbolism, and it comes down to what what is the when you talk to guys like Umar Johnson, what do they always say about what happened with slavery?
It was the white man's fault.
It was the white man's fault. But as far as how the black community, one of the worst things that we did if we've done, if we've neglected one huge thing when it comes down to slavery, after slavery. During slavery, we was what? All together,
Like I
sticking
said,
together.
it was the family dynamic that we had no choice. We had no choice but to stick together and have a family dynamic and stuff because we all we had.
We all we had. And then after slavery, You would think because we went through that pain and that struggle that we would be together, but instead we
Oh, it's worse. It's worse
we
now than
drifted
it's
apart.
worse now than ever.
And that's why I chose the word what I chose for a main reason. It's because no longer are we thinking like niggers. We're thinking like niggas. Niggas, they look out for themselves.
I never thought about it like that. You son of a bitch.
I don't know. Look, I'm telling you selective about why niggas look out for themselves. Because if
Oh my
you
god.
were niggers, niggas were all for family. We looked out for each other. We tried to at least try to guide each other to the right. Look, man, don't go over there. You're gonna get your ass whooped by boss. You're gonna get whooped by this man. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do that. Now as niggas, we just look at each other and say, man, shit, that nigga getting his ass whooped on. Let me record this motherfucker.
World star.
World star. We don't give a fuck. They don't give a flying fuck. They don't give no fucks. I know this is very graphic, but tell me what online. People don't give a shit. They don't give a damn about nothing. Because guess what? Raheem, he's a dark skinned dude that understands the culture, understands that he represents the new. He talking about he understands he represents the new school. He under, he represents what's going on now, what's popular. He understands the
Mm,
culture. He understands how youngsters look. He understands how youngsters want to be, their mentality, how to connect with them. He understands all of that. He represents the black culture in Atlanta. Why? Because he understands how we think. He understands how to make sure, like, to be us. What it all comes down from clothing, the way that he talks, the way that he walks. He represents that. He represents Atlanta. And then you look at a guy like Jimmy Lake. Come on, man. Y'all like them high yellow ass. Y'all, you know damn well y'all like them high yellow ass people. Trey been
so
getting
what
there
you
work.
try? So what you trying to say? Jimmy Lake represents Sandy Springs. That's what you're saying.
Yes, he did. He represents Sandy Springs. Okay. When y'all
Fucked
go
up.
back and listen to back to what I just said, it's gonna come. It's all of it gonna come together. Jimmy Lake represents everything that's not Atlanta. It's not Atlanta. He don't represent us. He don't represent the culture that what Atlanta is
Especially with Jimmy Lake doing most of his coaching on the West Coast.
on the West. He doesn't fit our. He doesn't fit what we believe. Roswell, good God, but he doesn't fit. He
Oh,
doesn't
that
fit
Ross.
Atlanta.
God,
You are not
that's just
Atlanta.
bad. That's just as bad. That's just as funny.
I'm just saying, y'all know it's true. He don't represent Atlanta. When you look at Raheem, he represents Atlanta for the way that he talk, all that. They brought him here because he connects with the players. And if you look at majority of the NFL right now, shit, about 60, 70% of it's black.
I think the
So guess
exact
what?
number. I think the exact number is 74%.
74%.
I think the exact number.
So that's the thing when you look at it. Like Raheem, is he a good coach? I don't know. Is he knowledgeable? Yes. But we don't know if he's a good coach. Why? Because he look, everywhere he's been okay.
But Mike, I kind of want to talk about this comment that you had got on one of your videos, and you kind of we've talked about this offline. Was you had asked a question to a lot of people was what does Raheem Morris what is Raheem Morris good at? And do you remember what you told me your response was from that question?
I don't know exactly, but I can probably do some
Okay.
math.
So just to let everybody kind of know how this kind of played out, and Mike's memory about as bad as my knee. So
I'm
um
doing multiple things at the same time, and everybody know I
ain't worth
cannot
you do two
multitask.
things at one time, your ass ain't worth a damn. But
I'm bad, y'all.
but I think Mike asked the question was what was Raheem Morris? What do you believe Raheem Morris is good at? I want everybody in the comment section or in the chat to put some red and black in the chat if you want to know what the response was.
Hmm.
I want to see some red and black in the chat before I give you the response. Do y'all know what was said? And he showed this to me, so I want to tell y'all this. Sound like your ass is walking. Sound like what you doing? You doing DoorDash by foot? That's what you doing over
Oh hell no! I ain't doing no damn DoorDash on. Hell no! I
there.
eat that shit up.
Keyshawn, Diamond, we got red. Like you said, put some red and black in the chat. Represent your Falcons, so you want to hear the response. A couple more people with some red and black, and we get it. But y'all wouldn't believe the response that I saw, which
Mm.
is kind of prompted to the second part of the conversation at hand. We got 82 Monte Carlo, D. Coleman German. Okay, so the response. So, like I said, Mike asked the question. So, what is Raheem Morris good at? Shout out to Jew Talk Sports. Shout out to Mucho. So pretty much, the dude told Mike suck a dick.
Oh yeah, he did say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he told you to suck a dick, which was a
Mm-hmm.
very, very interesting response because it didn't answer anything.
Yeah.
No, first he said, "You think you know everything? Suck a dick."
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound like an answer to a question? I'm gonna ask everybody watching. Does that sound like an answer to a question?
Yep. That's what I
Diamond
was. That's
said
what
she
I was
remember
told.
that. Pam said he's good at chewing gum.
And you know what's crazy? Auntie Pam's like one of the nicest people ever when it comes down. Like she gives everybody the benefit of the
Mhm.
doubt, and she, for the most part, very.
John said highly intelligent. Sam said that sound like an arrogantly ignorant dummy.
I, I just asked the question. You know what's funny too is that I always say that I don't know everything, but I accuse of being a know-it-all. We get accused of being a know-it-all when we clearly say that. Look, we got people when we don't know something, we do our research to get it right. So when we know
Right.
what we know, we double down on it. And y'all ain't got a
Mhm.
problem with our knowledge. Y'all ain't got a problem with us being intelligent. Y'all got a
Right.
problem with us Y'all motherfucker can't change our mind because we know what we know for a fact.
Right.
Can't sway us.
But it's very interesting because this is a question that I think you've been asking a lot of people here for the last few months as far as that situation is what is he good at? What can y'all specifically say that what he specializes in? And when that question is asked, it's always met with some hostility.
Hmm. I know. I only got one answer that I remember, and everybody said DB. I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? Slot
Hmm.
corner, outside corner, safety, free safety. Like we got defensive backs that don't train cornerbacks. We got defensive back coaches that don't train safeties. So even that in its entire, like even with that, that right there is a flaw. Because if you look at
Right.
Bill Belichick, I know what Bill Belichick is good at. He's great at developing pass rushers and linebackers. He's always been good at that. Everywhere he's been, that's what he's been.
Right.
But he's
Right.
got,
But like I said, man, it's just very interesting that, and I want to, so I want to get to this question here, and this is a question that I want to ask that I really haven't got no answer for.
hold on, so yeah, we didn't hear that, but
Can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay. So the question that I had was let's play devil's advocate here. Let's say it was Jimmy Lake's fault that the defense didn't perform up to the expectations of the Atlanta Falcon fans. The question that I challenge everybody that's watching is, when did you realize that Jimmy Lake was the problem as a defensive coordinator?
So you
Mucho
asking
said,
everybody?
yeah, I'm asking everybody that question. Let's play devil's advocate on this. Then Mucho said he been stranded in Iowa since Monday. Yeah. Oh man, you up there in Iowa, man. Hey. Hopefully you get home. Hopefully you get home soon, man.
Yes, please.
So let's play. Like I said, let's play the devil's advocate here. And I asked this question, and then the numbers just jumped up like a motherfucker. So the question is, if Jimmy Lake is at fault for the defense underachieving, how soon or how early in the season did y'all realize that he was the problem?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's real
Okay.
interesting.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Keyshawn said.
oh
Keyshawn
man.
said no. Auntie Pam said the Minnesota game. Southside said Broncos game. Mucho said he got better towards the end of the season. Millie Mills said the Seattle game. Okay. Okay. So pretty much where Millie Mills is at, let's just say the beginning of where people found out that he was a problem was the Minnesota the okay, D Coleman said the Kansas City game. Seattle game. So a lot of people so let's say the Seattle game. So what was that, about week 10? About week 10. Okay. So D Coleman is the only one that kind of saw it a little bit earlier. Um, what was it about the defense that made y'all say that Jimmy Lake was the problem? Because
Hmm.
I want to test everybody's eyes on what they saw
Ooh,
defensively.
boy.
I
Okay.
want to test everybody's eyes. Like I said, there's no right or wrong answers. I just want to get a clarification on what people saw because the thing is, I want to group all this together.
Mm,
Three
mm,
Dirty,
mm.
Three Dirty said Raheem got his job off his resume, which overshadowed his hands-on coaching. Okay, John St. Clair said the Minnesota game. Okay, so that's pretty much later in the season because
Well, I'm like a
okay,
crackhead right now. If you have no idea.
it's good though because like I said, it's
No,
no right or wrong.
no. I just finished. I'm waiting for you because I know where you're going, and I'm like I
Hmm.
said, I'm waiting patiently.
Okay, all right. So I'm just waiting for a couple more answers before I go ahead and land this plane, and I'm gonna let you go off on it. Let's see, memory challenge. Okay, it says for me, I saw players playing in spots they weren't accustomed to be. Mill said that was week 7 though last year, but definitely middle of that year. Okay, Broncos game that point. Denver over age only like 21 points. Okay, so so pretty much pretty much everybody's kind of saying anywhere between week 7 week 12 ish. Is that about the right way as they're going? I think the Broncos is like week 12. Okay. So let's look at it from the standpoint here. The Atlanta Falcons defense in 2024 before week 11, which I think it was the Saints game, right around that time, that Saints game. The Atlanta Falcons were dead last in pressures and sacks on the other team.
Mm-hmm.
Can we say that?
Yes.
Because we also have to remember in that standpoint in time as well, they weren't getting a lot of turnovers. So my question is, if we're looking at anywhere between week 7 and week 10 where Jimmy Lake was the issue, why in the bluest of blue fucks did we have to wait all the way to week 12 to see a defense worth a damn?
That right there.
Let me say that again for the people in the back. We didn't see the potential of this defense until week 11, week 12. Well, I think week 11 we had the bye week, but by around
That don't even
about
just
week
keep.
10, yeah, we'll say in that area. Why did it take 2/3 of the season to see a defense that we could be proud of? Get your thoughts on that, Mike. Why the hell did it take all the way to week 10 through 12 before we saw a defense that Falcon fans could be proud of? Then week 17 and 18, we saw absolute garbage. What's your take on that, Mike?
There's a question on top of that that I want to bring up also.
Go ahead.
You just said from week 12 on down, we had a defense that we could be proud of, right?
Yep.
And let's just say Raheem was the reason why. Let's just say that. We start getting more pressures, and Raheem and those guys, there was a major change in the defense. We weren't playing 5 yards off the ball anymore. They were getting very aggressive. They were sending Caden Ellis on blitzes, a lot of guys on blitzes. They got to start getting very aggressive. Was that who was still calling the plays when we start getting all those sacks? When we start getting all the interceptions, who was calling the plays?
Because at the end of the day, regardless on what people keep saying, as the coordinator, he's still calling the plays regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Which is one said Ricochet, aka Jimmy Lake. So what was the switch?
That's why I'm asking this. That's why this is why I'm saying this. This is why we got to paint this picture. Look, we Picasso in this bitch right now. He was still calling the plays from the word to the good and the bad. But if you only take notice when it was good, and I'm talking about him as being a bad defensive coordinator, why did it take? There's another. There's something in this conversation that's like it. I'm itching to kind of not go off here because I'm gonna just call everybody full of shit, and I'm gonna say everybody full of shit. Why? Because y'all know goddamn well it ain't take y'all fucking 10 weeks to see that it was fucking Jimmy Lake. Get the fuck out of here. I don't need no motherfucking 10 weeks to be sitting up here saying, oh, yep, I don't know if the defense, if it's Raheem or Jimmy Lake. Y'all saw that shit for 10 weeks straight that we didn't get we couldn't even get 10 sacks in 10 fucking weeks. And y'all talking about, y'all gonna sit up here on 6-man case files and tell that hard ass lie and say, y'all knew he wasn't the guy in week 10? Bullshit.
We literally saw.
I don't
We
know who
we
y'all trying to
we
fool, but you ain't
we,
fooling me.
we literally saw from week 3 all the way to week 10. Hey, I don't, yeah, all the way to week. I'm gonna say week 12. Opposing offensive coordinators were putting their best receivers in the slot, and we had
Mm-hmm.
linebackers covering them.
Mm-hmm. No. And mark this, Cam. Mark this. This is the real kicker. Because we're going off about what everybody else says, not just you guys, but everybody else says. We said
Right.
Raheem said the reason why the defense start playing better is that he got more of a role. He had more of a role on the defense side of the ball. So let's just say that is true.
Can I? Can I? Can I?
Why the
Can I?
hell
Can
it take you 10 weeks to do that? It took you 10 weeks to say, Jimmy, I don't think this is gonna work. It
That's
took
like
you 10 weeks to say, Jimmy, this ain't gonna work.
that's like the
When
equivalent
are
of
we
seeing
gonna
your
use our common goddamn sense? Y'all know what
look,
y'all saying ain't true.
look, that's like the equivalent of your child failing in school, and then the last week of school, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give him some tutoring. Nigga,
Yeah,
it's too
y'all. Y'all know y'all full of shit. Y'all know y'all full of, you know goddamn well in week 5 they generally when that motherfucker by. Or Raheem was in the guy. It don't matter at this point. Y'all full of shit. As I'm saying, you full of
late.
shit. You're not gonna save me the damn dream. You gonna talk about y'all gonna sit up here and try to tell me in week 10, I knew Jimmy Lake. No. Y'all was saying that shit to y'allself when y'all was looking at that damn looking at the TV, holding your beer, or holding your Kool-Aid, or holding your Coke, or holding your soda. Y'all was saying to yourself, yeah, this shit ain't gonna work. It took that man 10 weeks to say, yeah, I don't think this gonna work, y'all. Huh? No.
No shit, Sherlock.
We know, we saw it. I knew in week 3 when we signed Davis, what that motherfucker that running back that we got from Carolina?
Um,
Signed that motherfucker to a deal. The running back, the Thunder Thighs. What the motherfucker?
Mike Davis, Mike Davis.
Mike Davis. We knew when that motherfucker was running the ball for 2.5 yards per carry, we knew that shit wasn't gonna work.
Oh,
So what we do?
you talk about the limp dick runs. Yeah, yeah, I know.
Yes,
Hmm.
we saw that. We knew it wasn't gonna work. I didn't need 15 weeks to tell me when it was gonna work or when it was gonna work if it wasn't gonna work. No. That's not true, Falcons fan. Y'all know damn well in week 5 when we couldn't get no damn sack. We Pittsburgh beat us by hitting 5 fucking field goals. And y'all trying to tell me, Mad Mike, it took y'all 10 weeks to say Rick, this man wasn't it? Stop it.
No, when I see well, and this is why a lot of people are kind of saying the Minnesota game is because uh, D offered slipping and sliding on the field.
Bro, come on, man.
They had D offered guarding damn Chelsea Jefferson. What the fuck are we talking about?
And this is the crazy part. This is why I say this is a problem that people are blaming Jimmy Lake is because this we heard it from our head coach. He said in week 10, after that bye, I believe it was week 9, week 10, he got more involved on the defense, and that's why we start playing better. Okay?
But like you said, the question is why the I'm gonna cuss on my show. Why in the fuck they had to wait till damn 6 games left of the season for you to get involved?
It's not that difficult, y'all. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult to see that Raheem full of crap. I'm not
And
being
then,
unreasonable. This stuff what he's saying is like if you analyze what this dude is saying, you realize how quickly he's full of crap.
here's the bad part about it. Here's the bad part about it. The last 3 weeks of the season was just as bad.
He went right back to where he was going in the first 8 damn games.
So the question is, who is the architect? So who's real? The thing is, the solution is is jaded because we don't know who is responsible for what. Because
Right.
the thing about it is, the first 10 weeks of the season, like I said, even if the defense didn't give up a lot of points, that defense was getting ran through like a street walk on Fulton Industrial
The last
for
three
10
games of the
weeks.
season were bad, bro. So we went to terrible football to good football, right back to terrible in the last three games.
The In that 4 game stretch, the Falcons was the best pass rushing team in the NFL.
Yeah,
In that
yeah.
4 week
4 to 5
span,
game stretch. I think it was like four to
these
five
mo-
games.
these motherfuckers had 30 sacks in 5 games. What the fuck? They had like
Come
20
on,
something
bro.
sacks in 5 games. I said, wait, whoa. Where the hell was this at in week 1?
And we pointing the finger at Jimmy Lake. So the problem wasn't Jimmy Lake, it was Raheem the whole time.
The,
It's,
yeah, so what Mike is saying is Raheem the whole time is the question is, and this is the same thing that we say about the Kirk Cousins situation. If it wasn't working, why wait all the way to week 10, 11, 12 to fix the shit? Just to turn around and go back to the shit that got Falcon fans pissed off the last 2 weeks of the season.
yeah, them games
Because
was with Tampa and Carolina was atrocious, bro. He went right back to the same thing. Go back and watch those games.
because the thing about it too is if it wasn't for Daryl Hodge, we'd have lost that game against the Raiders if it wasn't for Daryl Hodge.
Yes.
I want y'all to put that into perspective. Put that into perspective, people. If it wasn't for Daryl Hodge's special teams play, we'd have lost to the Raiders. And who was the starting quarterback for the Raiders that game? Michael, who was the starting quarterback for the Raiders that game?
Desmond Ritter.
Okay. The same Raiders game that Kirk Cousins
Bernard
got
with the
benched
good
right
hair, in other
afterwards.
words.
Bernard with the good hair. Beaker. Which was the very same game in which they decided to bench Kirk Cousins
Mm.
after a win when the previous weeks was some of the worst football I've ever seen.
Oh my God. 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 Think about what he just said right there. You decide to bench him after you won. The game was going on. Why are
Mike, you want to
we?
go?
Oh my
Mike, you want to
God.
go? Mike, you want to preaching? Go on a tangent right quick. I'm gonna put the preacher music on
Oh
for
my
you.
God.
Go
Oh
ahead, man.
Jesus.
Hold on, hold
Jesus.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on, Pastor. Hold on, Pastor. I think I got a Pastor. No, that ain't it. Sad confessions. There you go. There you go. You go off on it.
Jesus. I need an amen, okay? Jesus, if you hear me. I need to know,
Hallelujah.
Lord. I need to know, Jesus. I need to know, Lord, that why our head coach, after a win, he decides that no, Lord, I don't need you no more. After a win, after everything in the damn house done got blown up, stolen, and everything else by this crackhead, that we win one game and we get it's like the crackhead came into the house, stole everything, and came back to your house and say, "How you doing?" Just to let him back in and say, "All right, you better not steal anything else." And then the crackhead come in and steal the cup that you just had. That's what this dude just did. Help me understand, Lord, because I don't get it. After the crackhead done stole and stole and stole, you let him back in, Lord. And then you bring somebody else in and say, yeah, we gonna clean it up.
Yeah.
And finally decide to get rid of it. The whole damn house, Lord. It's the whole damn house. Everything from the peanut butter jar to the peanut butter to the jelly to the bread to the mayonnaise to bologna. Everything gone. But you want to make some changes after everything was gone. I don't get it, Lord. Lord, help me understand.
Now hold on, Reverend. Hold on, Reverend. We don't want to give them too much. Just say your final prayer and let's bless it to the
So
children.
Jesus, at the end of the day, give me patience. Give me patience, Lord. I just need patience. I'm praying for you. For those on the left side and the right side, amen.
Amen. How you feel? How you feel, Mike?
I
Getting that
feel
off your
good. I
chest.
feel good. That prayer was really good.
All right.
I needed that.
So, man, we an hour in, so I ain't even getting. Okay, so we're gonna ask the second part of this conversation. Now, when it comes to Raheem Morris, it's a plethora of people who are very, very defensive when it comes to him. If you have
Mm.
any type of criticisms of how he handles certain situations, you are said to be either a coon, a Uncle Tom,
Mm.
you hate black coaches, or the favorite one. He's only been a coach for 1 year.
Mm. Mm.
What does that sound? That sounds very familiar. That sounds very familiar, Granddad.
It really does. Sounds really familiar. Awfully familiar.
Now, let me go ahead and set this up for you, Mike. So, with Raheem Morris kind of being the guy, and let's be honest, the reason why a lot of people don't like folks criticizing Raheem Morris's first year is because he's such a likable guy.
Mm-hmm.
His aesthetic is what gravitates to people. So
Oh
my
my
question to
God.
you, Mike. So my question to you, Mike, is it almost sounds like Raheem Morris is getting is going towards that Mike Vick aura in Atlanta. How do you feel about that type of statement? That Raheem Morris is the new Mike Vick in Atlanta.
He is exactly that. I think that's a perfect. I think that is a statement that is right on dead set. Why? Why would I say that? How many times we don't seen players on say, "Oh my God, I love Raheem. Oh my God, he's such a great guy." And then you start talking about his football abilities, and yeah, we try to ignore the fact that well, he ain't got no accolades as a coach.
Now,
Besides being undefeated.
let me put the disclaimer on this part of the conversation. This conversation is not. This conversation is about Raheem Morris, but it's pointed towards the people that are offended by the fact that people have criticisms of Raheem Morris in year
Mm-hmm.
one. Now, Mike, You will probably ask me a question: is why would there be criticisms for Raheem Morris after year one? Go ahead, and ask me that question, and I'm gonna tell you why I think it is.
So you asking why there would be criticisms? Yeah, I would love to know what you think about that because that's really interesting.
Now, if we're looking at the situation of the Falcons as far as the coaching staff and the coaching, you have to remember, based on the moves and based on what the Falcons did in that offseason and how they address certain positions, if we remember correctly, the public perception of the Falcons was they were at least a playoff team. So Raheem Morris came into a situation where the expectation was get to the playoffs. Even he said it out of his mouth was, "We got to outrun the South." Am I correct? Make sure I said that. Now, the detractors, or as we say, the Raheem Ducks Brigade, would say some of this magnitude. Well, when Arthur Smith was the head coach, y'all didn't give him this much smoke after year one. Let me go ahead and explain
Yeah.
why a lot of people really didn't give Arthur Smith flack after year one. The Falcons were not expected to win football games under Arthur Smith.
Nope.
Remember, no money, no players. It was basically the replacements for 2 years until 2023. That's when the expectations came. When you start getting the Jesse Bates and the David Onyemadas, you started seeing more of Bijan Robinson. You started getting a little bit more money, and you started being able to afford more players. That's where Arthur Smith started getting the expectations. That's where he started catching all the hell. And you saw it in his mannerisms that the team wasn't successful, and he started breaking. Like Michael said, nigga, we was broke.
Hmm.
We was broke for 2 years.
For 2 years of that, and then on the third year when we finally get some money, you say, "Nah, you got to go."
hmm Now, like you said, when Raheem came into the situation, the team was already there. The team had the expectation. And like I said, Falcons fans expected this team to be a playoff team off rip. Like Mike said in his live earlier. Raheem Moore said that I just we if they didn't have if they would have had a comparable quarterback, I wouldn't be
Mhm.
the head coach here right now.
Those are his
So
words.
so essentially what you said was, give me a quarterback and we gonna win.
Yeah, his words, not my words, or K Styles words, or anybody else who's a content creator. Those are his words.
So what ended up happening was, this is why they double dipped on the quarterback situation in itself, was because and I'm in my way my mindset, you had two different ideologies on how they wanted to attack the quarterback position. But that's near said, none that, whatever. You get Kirk Cousins and you draft Michael Penix. So they double dipped to make sure that they was good for the now and future. The Atlanta Falcons started off 6-3. Where have we seen that before?
Mm. Ooh, ooh, child, things are gonna get easier.
Where The Falcons started off 6-3 in the regular season, had an opportunity to win the division by week 12. Let me say that again. Had an opportunity to win the division by week 12. And the team itself folded under they folded big time, offensively
Mhm.
and defensively. Well, Kirk Cousins and defensively they folded. Let me make sure I be specific on that. We saw Kirk Cousins play some of the worst quarterbacks. I'm gonna say this right here. Y'all gonna laugh at me. In that 5 game stretch, Mike, you ain't gonna believe what I'm about to say. In that
Oh,
5 game stretch, Kirk Cousins looked worse than Desmond Ritter.
yes, he did. Yes.
And like you said, and me being a Desmond Ritter supporter, that looked atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, nigga,
One touchdown.
I did say I was a Desmond Ritter supporter. So hey, y'all ain't gonna do shit to me. Kick rocks. But the reason why I asked the question, is he the new Mike Vick, is because through all of those turmoils, all of the bad time management, the Kirk Cousins situation where he looked horrible, but tried to convince everybody that he's playing well. He didn't, like you said, anybody that gave Raheem flack pretty much got a whole bunch of vitriol from a bunch of Falcon fans for giving him flack for handling that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason why I said, is he the new Mike Vick, because despite how excited and how much potential Mike Vick had,
Mm.
even Mike Vick said in his own words, if y'all go and look at the interviews he has had, explaining his time in Atlanta, even he said he didn't take it serious because he was already, this part is my words. He had already reached celebrity status. So he did so he pretty much arrived and he said he didn't take it serious.
He was already a star. He was already the chosen one. So why does he need? He had already became the first quarterback to ever receive $100 million contract.
Hmm.
Why does he need to get better?
Hmm. Right. So
He had
by
already
sa-
improved. He doesn't need to
so
improve when he already getting stuff that other quarterbacks weren't getting.
so does that sound like Raheem Morris to you, as far as what some of these Falcon fans really feel, some of these Falcon content creators feel, that
Look,
Raheem said, because like I said, since Raheem Morris is, I'm gonna ask you the question. And I'm gonna ask everybody this question. This is another question. I know y'all tired of me asking questions, but I gotta do this. Is Raheem Morris perceived by the Falcon media, the Falcon fan base, and the Falcon content space as the savior for the Atlanta Falcons?
I'm trying to put my stupid hat on because
So so
I
so
agree
so
with that.
so 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 I asked everybody that's watching here when we saw some of the debacles and people calling out the debacles and the people that called out the debacles or the situations that weren't handled correctly by him were getting attacked for calling it out. Doesn't that kind of sound like a savior complex? Are they
Yeah,
looking for Raheem to be the face, the save? And I'm not even talking about just the football player side of things. We already know Michael Penix is poised to be the face of the franchise. But are they looking at Raheem as being the savior of the Atlanta Falcons as far as the coaching wise? I know that's kind of a loaded question, but like you
no,
said, I'm
it's not
trying.
a loaded question. It's filled of stupidity for me personally because y'all literally the only reason why the media likes this guy because everybody else like him. It's like who's a ugly ass person? Lady Gaga. That's an ugly motherfucker. Okay, but because I'm sorry. That bitch ugly.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no, 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 no. Explain it. No, go ahead, explain it. Go ahead, explain it.
So Lady Gaga is ugly. If you just look at motherfucker, that motherfucker got nose longer than Pinocchio. Flicked that ass legs, just all awkward. Sang her ass off. Extremely talented, but that's an ugly motherfucker. We know Dennis Rodman. Same thing. That motherfucker ugly. Hey, Dennis Rodman ugly. That motherfucker be wearing motherfucker be
That
coming
motherfucker,
off the goddamn. He be coming off the court, musty, stinking and shit.
man, that motherfucker look like a dirty 8 ball. That's what he looked like.
Motherfucker ugly. Travis Hunter, that's another ugly motherfucker too. Travis Hunter ugly. I know ugly when I see it, okay? That's an ugly motherfucker. But why are they so popular? They popular because everybody else like them. That's the same thing for Raheem. Because everybody else like Raheem, we want to keep him around because he popular. Because ain't nobody gonna
Mm.
convince me that goddamn Dennis Rodman is a handsome man, okay? That's an ugly Lady Gaga, that's an ugly motherfucker. That damn that fat ass Lizzo, that bitch before she lost some weight, she looked like a half decent woman now she lost some damn weight. And I know people gonna be all on it, but y'all know it's true. Look, she looks good. She looks very good. Okay. She looks good when she lost a lot of weight. Just my opinion. But that's an ugly motherfucker. Y'all know Lady Gaga ugly. You know some people is ugly, and that's fine because some people are attracted to personality. That's okay. Dennis Rodman, he's probably one of them people that he ain't got much in the damn looks department, but that motherfucker swole. He got money, but he got a great personality. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing for Lady Gaga. Same thing for her. But you can't tell me them motherfuckers ain't ugly. So all I'm saying
So,
is Raheem Morris ain't got nothing. This nigga ain't got nothing but his personality. Cause you can't say he's a great coach because he ain't did that. You can't say he's a winner because he ain't did that. All this motherfucker do is talk and smile. So the media is attracted to that because everybody else like it. We follow trends. We make people who ain't got no damn business celebrities like that goddamn Free Johnson. That motherfucker need to be in hell, okay?
you said, "Who?"
Fleece Johnson. We
Oh
making that
God, no.
motherfucker a damn. We social media is making him a celebrity.
These some bitches did a 20 a 1v20 with Fleece Johnson. I said, nope, nigga, we not doing this shit. I
No,
don't think a 20v1
no,
with Fleece Johnson. No, if y'all hadn't seen that
no.
shit, y'all need to go take a look at that shit online. That shit had me rolling and scared at the same time.
Hot tour girl. Like we made her popular. She talked about the same thing that everybody do on a daily basis, sucking dick. Okay, y'all suck dick every day of the week, but y'all want to sit up and make her popular about it. Why? Because she was all on TV, all in your face,
Oh,
and shit.
ding, hey, roo, roo, roo. Mike, here goes one. Here you go.
We know. Oh, he came
Here
in
you
here.
go. I knew one of y'all was gonna come in here. That's very interesting. Say y'all can say what y'all want about Raheem. The coaches and players think highly of Raheem, but the fans.
Didn't I
Bullshit. The
just say
fans.
that though? Didn't I just say
We
it? You
we we literally just sat here and just said everything you just said. But
just said
because
it.
but because we didn't kiss his ass, you felt some way about it. That's exactly
Mhm.
what I'm talking about.
We make people that have not earned popular. We make people that has not earned it and put in their stripes and actually has a good resume. We
Ding
make them
ding
popular
ding 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 ding. That motherfucker came in right and on time.
right on time. He's on
Right
time.
on time.
Lord. Yes, he is.
He said,
Oh, on time. Oh, yes, he is.
"That's
Just
what
saying.
look. There go Dre Murphy already. And look, and ain't nobody seen his ass in a while, so you know they come.
Yep. I ain't seen him
The
since the Justin
yeah
Fields came with a weight.
yeah. Oh, you talk about Tank, the new New York Jets fan. Yeah, yeah, we know about that.
Yep. He been
Yeah, the
all
New
over the
York.
Jets.
Yeah. He got a New York Jets jersey on right now as we watching this live, so we know. Um, but what this comes down to is when people love you.
Yep. Hold on. Let me summarize. Can I summarize this? All I just said, and that was people don't care about the fact that you're good at your job.
He said, "Y'all speak
You
on
care
y'all
more
feelings, no
about
fact." Yeah,
yeah.
to speak on your.
No.
No,
I'm
no,
not. I'm
no.
not. I'm not.
He said we. I'm about to say that's
I
very
got it. Ken.
interesting.
I got it. I,
Go ahead. Do you think,
I
Mike?
got it. You said yeah, go ahead. Read it. Read it. Read
He
it.
said,
Sorry.
"Y'all speak on y'all feelings, no facts. That's the problem with this show." So
All
basically,
right.
what he said is, so basically, what for if I'm summarizing for the people that's watching here, see, Tank has a problem with a lot of stuff that we say because it doesn't match what he thinks. See, this is what we call deflection of personal feelings here. See, because we don't feel the same way that he does, he deflects his feelings onto us to make it feel like that we're in our feelings, where in reality, we're just making a conversation. But the thing about our conversations is going to bring these type of people out, and these are the type of people that go behind certain people, behind a lot of people's back, and start having a lot of these conversations with people that think like them.
Mm-hmm. You know what's a fact?
What's up?
That he has a career total of 29 wins and
Hmm.
47 losses. That's a fact. Okay.
Right, right,
What is a fact that he's never won anything as a head coach. He's never won a Super Bowl as a head coach. He's never been coach of the year. Okay.
right. Because the thing about it is yeah, players can love them, the media can love them, but here's the question: how long is that going to last if the losing continues? Is he going to be, or are people going to be able to ride with that lovability with him? Because remember, hold on, let me say this, Mike. Remember, Michael Vick was loved down here. He was idolized. He was deified down here
Mm-hmm.
it, until 2006, until 2005, 2006.
Mm-hmm.
2006, when we started off 6-3 in that season and went 7-9 and missed the playoffs, all of a sudden, that deified ideology that happened started dwindling because there was no consistency with the Falcons here. Because, like I say, you think about it, 2001, and I'm just using the Michael Vick thing. This is not a dig at Mike Vick, but this is a fact right here. Mike Vick started to get a lot of boos in 2006 because they weren't consistent in winning. That's where the infamous flipping off the crowd came.
Just saying.
Hmm.
Because again, when we like to talk about feelings. I'm not talking about my feelings. I'm talking about his accomplishment. You say he trash. Let me
Hold
ask
on,
you something. Hold on, Kev,
hold on. Nah, go ahead, Mike. Because I,
You
cause I was
said,
about to, because I was about to say, because remember he used to go by the name Facts Over Feelings. See,
yeah,
what
yeah.
we're spitting is actual facts. Because if I was in my feelings, you would know.
Well, and that's the thing. We talk about feelings. I'm not the one that's 27, 29, and 47. I'm not the one that hasn't had a coaching job since what 2000, the early 2000s. Like I'm not the one. That's not him. I wasn't the one that was labeled the chosen one by the NFL coaching community. They labeled him that. And what is a fact again? If the Atlanta Falcons were 29-47, what would you be saying to that as Falcons fans? If we were 29 and let's just say about 5 to 6 years, if the Falcons were 29-47, I'll say that about 7 to 8 years. Okay, we won 29 games. What would you say about this organization? Because the thing is, when you talk about the you talking about the actual facts of it, 29-47 ain't a very good. That's not good at all. In no way, shape, or form is that good. Being 29-47. That ain't my feelings that's saying that.
My bad. My bad.
That's
My
that's
bad.
not my feelings said at K Styles. It's not my feelings when a guy is 29-47, and we'll just say that's about 6 to 7 years for argument's sake. If the
Right.
Falcons and about like I said, it's about 60 games, 8 games. I mean 7 per year. Look, I'll just give that
I'm
six
a,
years. Let's just say for argument's sake, Falcons was 29-47 in about 60 games or so.
right.
What would you say, Kev, If the Falcons had won 29 and lost 47 games, what would you say is that? Is that good, bad, or just absolutely terrible?
29 to 47. Well, that's atrocious. We've been
That's
there.
that's that's
We've been
trash, ain't it?
we've been there.
Yeah, we've been there, and that's trash. No matter how much you try to put some hot sauce on your bullshit, it's still bullshit. The shit still stink, and it still look. You try to eat that shit, it gonna fuck you up. Okay, shit right there ain't good. Okay, no matter how much you try to
Well,
put potpourri on bullshit, it's still bullshit.
at the end at the end of the day, if you don't want nobody to talk about Raheem Morris, the Falcons better get to the playoffs. And
Just
once he
think.
gets to the playoffs, once he gets to the playoffs, then all the criticism that he gonna get, people gonna shut the hell up. We'll shut the hell up, and we'll eat our words. But what we're saying is this is a crucial year for him. This is a crucial year because they are like I said, whether y'all like it or not, his replacement his replacement plan is already on the coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows that, hey, you said outrun the South in 2024. We outran our damn selves and ended up not being third place in the damn division. Fourth place, actually. Well, I mean, second place, actually. We still didn't win the division. So he, so he's going to have to get it done this year. If you, like I say, if you don't want nobody talking shit about it, rather you believe it or not, you think that we're the only ones that's talking like this. Oh, you have not seen. We're being mild with it. The stuff that I seen is way worse.
Outran the
So
damn. We outran our damn selves. Okay, we feel
my
flat
my
on our damn
my
face.
my what's that phrase you used earlier? You got to be about that action, boss.
Gotta be about the action, and action, that's all that matters.
hmm I'm just saying that if that motherfucker pull that shit that I know I hope he don't pull, Lord have mercy. You talk about a riot gonna happen in Atlanta, Lord, it's gonna be a riot. But the hell, what the fuck? Okay, so
That man came in
we
here
got about
bleeding all over the track. But good
boy
God Almighty,
that motherfucker Tampax and goddamn broke on his ass. His
God
tampon
damn!
done broke on his ass. I'm like, good movie.
You might as well look. You might as well say his daddy. Look, that motherfucker acting like Raheem just did it.
No,
The
look,
motherfucker,
no. But let me tell you something. And we're gonna go and talk about this schedule for the next 20 minutes. The only time you ever see Tank in this live is when three names pop up: Raheem Morris, Justin Fields, or Lamar Jackson. Let me
mm-hmm.
ask everybody. Let me ask everybody that's watching this show right now. If we not talking about Raheem Morris, Lamar Jackson, or Justin Fields, when the last time y'all seen him in this chat? I want to put a poll in there. I want to put a poll for the people. I want to put a poll because I haven't seen you. I haven't seen Alpha. If it ain't Justin Fields related, if it ain't Lamar Jackson related, or if it ain't Raheem Morris related, I have not seen you in this chat. I'm gonna ask the people that's in the chat right now. When the last time y'all seen Tank when those three names ain't brought up?
Hmm.
Because Mike, I don't think I remember. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I seen that name
Been
in
a
here.
long, long time. It's been a long time coming.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Dumb. Mm-hmm.
That man getting butt booty naked, boy.
Cause he talking about I've always been here, but you haven't been in the chat. I ain't talking about you watching. I'm talking about you being in the chat.
Motherfucker he ain't been watching shit. Okay, get out of here.
Exactly. Because if he'd have watched this whole live, he'd have understood. We explained what the content was, but the fact that he got triggered by the fact that we ain't kissing Raheem Morris's ass is the reason why he's commenting. But this is what
Mm-hmm.
I talk about. These are the people that I talk about. It's trigger words that's only going to bring certain people over here. Like I said, if Lamar Jackson's name ain't brought up, if Justin Fields' name is brought up, or Raheem, this is the type of people you're going to see in the chat. So we're going to get up off that subject and we're going to talk about this schedule right quick before we get up on out of here, buddy. So, as you see on the left side of the screen, we have the 2025 schedule. As you see, preseason, Lions, Titans, Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
As we already know, we probably don't give a damn about that. But this year's schedule is a little interesting as we're going to be starting off with two division games in 3 weeks with the Buccaneers going to the Vikings, Panthers, Washington, and then we got a bye week right there. What's your thoughts on that on that first stretch of games before the bye week?
My expectations 2-2. Anything less than 2-2 is unacceptable. Inexcusable.
Mm,
Because the first couple of games, the first 4 games or so, you have to get um especially defensively more so than anything. It's like offensively, it takes a little bit of time to kind of get things going. You got to ride the run
mhm.
game, ride the offensive line in the first 4 games. So for the pass game to kind of catch up. So it's
Okay.
like for me, I'm looking for the
I,
defense to kind of come up and play 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 their game defensively. I need for them to see it. But the first 4 games is all about the defense and the running game for me. I'm not putting too much pressure on the quarterback and the passing game. But
so
two
pretty
and two,
much, pretty much, it's kind of like what I believe it is. You gotta let the offense kind of get a feel for it and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because the thing is, with Michael Penix being the first, this is gonna be his first. Hopefully, he'll be his first full year as a starter.
you ain't worth shit.
Hopefully,
How
hopefully,
you gonna do that,
hopefully.
man?
So my expectations for him is is to continue to get better and to continue to get more comfortable. Like I said, get used to those check downs and stuff early on and build that confidence up.
Mm-hmm.
And those are 4 good games that I do like. They're winnable. Actually, all 4 of them are winnable.
Yes.
Um, think about we sweat Tampa. We don't want to talk about that Minnesota game and that
Yeah, that was
Washington game. We don't want to talk about got that Riley Patterson bitch ass. Nope, I don't want to talk about Washington. And so the next stretch of games is where the defense really gonna get tested out. Buffalo, San Francisco. Miami, New England. We're going to Germany for the Colts. What's your take on that?
So the Buffalo game, that's gonna be kind of up in the air because, like, for me personally, because, Buffalo defense is obviously changed, but you got a quarterback like Josh Allen, he'll give you an opportunity, kind of, to they're gonna give you an opportunity to win games. And then San Francisco, I don't think they're the same team. They got a lot of injuries, a lot of old guys making more money right now. George Kittle, he's had injury issues. That nappy head boy with them dreads in his hair, what his name is? He's hurt, wide receiver. And then you got Juwan Jennings. I think they kind of priming
Oh,
him
you
to be
talk
the next.
about you talk about what the fuck that man name is? Brandon Ayuk.
IU. I won't say ukulele. Damn.
Nah, he's a backup quarterback for the damn Chargers. You talking about DJ Ungale? Yeah.
Yeah, but you got that. I mean, but he's still coming off a ACL tear. We don't know if he's back. That's a lot of question
hmm
marks. So, like, the defense, they still trying to find themselves, because they had a lot of changes defensively. Um,
hmm
the Dolphins, I mean, they have, a pretty dynamic offense when everybody's on the same page and they not have fucking every stripper in the United States and turning them into baby mamas.
Look,
Um,
I know damn well I don't need to be seeing no pass rusher guarding Devon A. Chain out the backfield. I know that much.
no, we don't need to see that.
I don't
And
want to
then
see
New
that.
England, look, that's a nice little set of games, yeah. But four of those games are winnable. To be honest, like I'm going to say the Bills are just a better team because they have a better quarterback, and we don't know what our defense is going to be. So I say four of those five games are definitely winnable.
Okay. Um, do you see the theme that's going on with this schedule too? Because I'm noticing a theme already. I'm noticing a
Um,
real. I'm noticing a theme on this schedule already.
every time, everywhere there's a fucking like anywhere there's beef, we playing them.
hmm And
Every
then, like you said,
person and player and team that we got beef with, we playing them.
exactly. Every team is some sort of history with some particular player or coach. And then you look after the Colts game, after the Germany game, you got the Panthers, the Saints, the Jets, the Seahawks, and then going back to Tampa. Like I said, these some winnable games in and in itself as well. But I like I said, I expect us to split with one either the Panthers or the Saints. I expect to split.
Uh-huh.
And then after that, the last three games you got the Cardinals, the Rams, and the Saints. It's too much familiarity, Granddad. Too much familiarity. It's too many storylines.
Uh-huh.
And Southside said something here too. He said, "Did y'all notice we have no cold weather games this year except Jets?"
Shit, that's good for me. Shit.
That's good for everybody.
That's good. We ain't gotta stand out there that freezing ass cold. Getting that hot ass barbecue chicken
And
that we
that
had.
got that goddamn barbecue last time. I tell you, that motherfucker put some damn that motherfucker put some moonshine in that damn sauce, bro. I told you, boy, it was like 40 something damn degrees outside, boy. We ate that chicken, boy. It was like 97 degrees. I said, boy, you don't get the fuck did you put in this sauce? But the theme of but like I said, the underlying theme of this schedule that I'm noticing, like I said, man, it's just a lot of familiarity.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. Like I said, even when you go, like I said, if you take away the division games, you look at Minnesota, Kirk Cousins. You look at Washington. That's the rivalry. That's the quarterback rivalry game they trying to build between Penix
And
and
Jaden.
Jay Daniels. Like you said, Buffalo's not too much familiarity with that one. We already know the thing with San Francisco. We already know with Miami, Mike McDaniels, and familiarity with the Falcons. New England, you already know that shit.
Mm-hmm.
The Colts, how much the Colts used to whoop our ass, and that's the quote unquote Matt Ryan used to play with the Colts game right there. Jets, Jeff Ulbrich, Seahawks, you know that history goes with that one. Cardinals, same thing. Rams, Zach Robinson. It's gonna be a fun 2025, man. Like I said, I can honestly say 10 games, 10-7. On a good day, 11-6. What you think? I think it like I said, at best I could say 11-6. At the worst, I say 10-7. I can't see them losing no more than 7 games this year.
No, I can't see it. Like I said, the only thing that I and God forbid it happen is just injuries. We just have way too much talent on both sides of the ball not to win 9+
hmm
games.
hmm Now when we're given these records of like 10-7 and stuff, it's just a projection of what could possibly happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we really don't know how the season's gonna play out. Hell, hell, things could go extremely good. They might be better than that, or it can go extremely bad, maybe be worse than last year. But the thing about it is I think Falcon fans are waiting to finally see this team make it to the postseason. And I think it's about time that we are able to build some type of stability within this organization because we haven't had coaching wise, we haven't had stability since 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Philosophically wise, we haven't had stability since 2002.
No, yeah.
Think about that. This Falcons team hasn't had like no. Now I'm gonna take that back. This Falcons team has not had real stability. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say since well, philosophically wise, since really 2017, because for me that's been the Atlanta Falcons' biggest problem, and is the reason why they haven't been winning a lot of games because it's been a shift. It's literally been a rotating shift of philosophies, coaches, players, identities that we don't even know what this team is.
Mm-mm.
Like I said, I know a lot of people want to blame Terry Fontenot for certain draft picks. The reality of it is every year it's been a different philosophy, offensively and defensively. this year may be the first time in a long time that we actually see a consistent identity for this team for 2 years in a row.
Yeah. Every time either offensive coordinator, we losing the offensive coordinator, losing the defensive coordinator, got to start over, even with the same head coach. Like it's the first time in a while that we've had the same defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator. You
Hmm.
know, and I don't count Jimmy Lake as a defensive coordinator because me personally, I believe that this defense was Raheem Morris.
But but like I said, at the same time, and we about to go ahead and wrap this up here in a few minutes because it's about 8 o'clock.
Still
But
change.
but also that's actually is what's working against Raheem Morris right now is because we have literally seen them scapegoat people, players, and coaches. We're putting a lot of blame on everything. Everybody blame Terry Fontenot. What Terry Fontenot do? Got you Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr., and Xavier Watson, Billy Bowman in one
Mm-hmm.
draft.
Yeah, he put the ball in your hand now.
So now what's going to end up happening is because since they finally addressed the edge rushers that everybody wanted and the playmakers defensively everybody want is the ball is in Raheem's court now.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to be able to balance all this and start building on that winning culture? Because you got the players now. The coaching and the performance on the field is going to be the determining factor.
Yep. This is the first
And
time in a while that it's been like this, though, where the ball is in the coaching staff's hands.
hmm so I don't. I think the room for error is small, and that's why when you hear the phrase "if they don't get it done, don't be surprised if Raheem gets fired." That's why because the general manager, everybody was complaining about the general manager not getting in players. He damn sure did it this time.
Mm-hmm. Got nothing to it. No, you got no excuses.
So, Mike, man, we're gonna go ahead and get up on out of here, man. You got any final words before we get up on out of here? Man, this was a long ass stream.
Get her done. Get her done. Look, get her done. That's all. I don't want to hear nothing about no. The black man can't come up and man shut that bullshit up. Get it done. All right. We about that action, boss. All right, about that action. I don't want to hear nothing about nobody motherfucking potential. Y'all can kiss my natural black behind with that nonsense. Potential. Heal with potential. That's it. We about that action.
You gotta do it. If you don't do it, that's your ass, Mr. Postman.
The end.
D. Coleman said, "Do y'all got a OKC Denver prediction?"
Hell no. Sound like some chicken.
I don't know. That season, that series is kind of
That
wild
thing
to
is a
me because
mess. Yeah, it's a mess. Like
it's
this.
a mess. Because it's like when OKC beats Denver, they blow them out the water. But if Denver won the game that they won, it was close. So I don't.
Mhm.
I think Denver pulls it off tonight. I don't. I can't really see OKC really closing it out tonight. I could be wrong, but we'll see.
No,
Hell,
I agree with those same sentiments.
because I thought the New York Knicks was gonna close out the Boston Celtics. They fucked around and let the role players goddamn go off a damn near 60 on their ass the way that they were shooting.
Now that's wow.
Exactly. Yeah, Mucho said, does the schedule include the preseason game? Yeah, because the preseason games is the Lions, the Titans, and the Cowboys. And 9 times 10, you're not going. You may see Michael Penix in the Detroit game, but that'll probably be the only game you see him in is the Detroit game. So, hey, we're gonna get up on out of here, y'all. 8 o'clock. Hungry Hell. Appreciate y'all tuning in. 6 Man Combo Live. Make sure you go ahead and continue to support. We on the road to 1,600. Um, man, make sure and also make sure you continue to support the family, Mr. White Network, OG Truth TV and Entertainment, Mr. Tactician. We got Atlanta Falcon Nation. Make sure you go follow everybody over there. Pat, Coach, Will. Hey man, till next time, people. We here to play.
Oh no.
We here to stay.
Oh yeah, nigga.
You ain't gotta go home.
But you got to get the hell out of here. Oh yeah.
ATL Sports In game tomorrow night, 9:15. We out.
Public service announcement. The enemy closest to you will never show their true colors.